So let's quickly discuss sleep regressions and your little one. So when it comes to regressions with children under the age of 3 years old, there's normally three main kind of regressions that we see. The first one is physical development. So your child is learning a new skill and they want to practice the skill, and then it interferes with the sleep process. So often we see when they start learning to roll over, so you've placed your baby in their crib on their back, and then suddenly you hear them crying and protesting, and when you go into their room, they've rolled onto their stomach and they're stuck and they're like, what do I do, mommy? I don't know what to do. Often when they learn to stand or sit, you place them in the cot and they sit straight up. They're like, I'm not going to lie down and sleep. I want to sit. Or they pull themselves up against the side of the cot and they're standing there. And they're like, hey, Bobby, look, I'm standing in the cot. And then it's frustrating for you as a parent because you've got to lie them back down, but then they just stand up again. So often we see kind of physical also 1 year when they learn to walk. Walking is the most exciting thing your little one is going to do. And why would I sleep, mommy, when I can walk around? I've just figured out how to walk and my balance is getting there. Okay. So they can often cause a little bit of a damper when it comes to your child's sleep. And the best thing you can do in those kind of scenarios is just wait until the skill is old news. I often say help them practice the skill during the day a lot so that they don't need to practice it when they're supposed to be napping or when it's bedtime. But often these kind of regressions just blow over as walking becomes old news. Been there, done that, not so cool anymore. The second kind of regression we often see is emotional development. Now, with emotional development, this is when their brain is really kicking into overdrive. This is where separation anxiety rears its ugly head, or they start learning to say words or sentences. I'll never forget putting my daughter in her cot. And she started to talk. And then for 20, 30 minutes, instead of going to sleep, she would blah, 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 like recite every word that she's learned. So those kind of regressions are also quite common. With separation anxiety, it's a normal phase that a child goes through. It's part of their development, unless it's severe or extreme. The most important thing for you to do as a parent is remain as consistent as possible. And tackle the separation anxiety during the day. Play separation games with your child during the day. Spend a lot of time with them. If they want to be in your arms for most of the day, let them, okay? It's a phase that they go through, and if you show them during the day you're emotionally available, and occasionally at night, you can use your intuition here. When you feel that they need you, go there and offer them some emotional support. I would say the tool that ends up throwing a parent off is that instead of offering them emotional support when they need it, they start bringing back props that were originally eliminated. If your child is suffering from separation anxiety, they don't need a bottle. If your child is suffering from separation anxiety, they don't need you to return a dummy that you've already removed. Okay, they need emotional reassurance and comfort. And then the third kind of regression that we can sometimes see is a big life-changing event. So the death of a parent, a change to a new school, moving to a new house. These can also throw a few upsets and regressions into the mix. And again, in these kind of instances, you want to offer them additional emotional support. And often they just need, the new house needs to become familiar, the new school needs to become familiar. So we offer them emotional support. The biggest mistake parents make is they start, I almost say they flail haphazardly. They don't know what to do, and then they kind of lose all intuition, and they just famble, and they're like, I don't know what to do. Here's a dummy, here's a bottle, here's the boob, to try and calm this child down. Remember, your child showing a behavior of any sort is not necessarily something that needs to be fixed, because behavior is just communication. So you need to stay calm as a parent and ask yourself, number one, what is happening here? Is something changed in the environment? Have they learned a new skill? Are they going through a developmental leap? And then if you can pinpoint why this behavior is happening, then think to yourself, what would be appropriate to help them deal with this? Do I need to help them practice the skill? Do I need to make myself more emotionally available during the day? And do they need a small amount of additional comfort at night when they wake up, but not bottles, not dummies, not rocking, not all those kind of things. Okay, but I hope that this helps.